All right, if you feel lethargic a lot of the time, slow moving, or like you can't quite shed those few pounds, I want you to stick around for this video because there's a beautiful archetype in Ayurveda for this, and we're gonna go through it all. Hey everyone, my name is Brittany. I'm an Ayurvedic health counselor. This is the 4th video in my Ayurveda series. So you can go back to the beginning of this playlist and go through what is Ayurveda, why does it matter in this modern world, and then we're going to go through all 3 doshas. So this is the 3rd one, so make sure you go through all of that if you're curious to learn more for free. This third dosha means imbalance. It's also more of a body archetype. And this one is called Kapha, Kapha. Kapha is the combination of 2 elements, earth element and the water element. So in Ayurveda, we work with all 5 elements. And these 2 together, when you think about earth and water, or you think about a rainy day, what does it create? It creates mud. So Kapha is the building block of life. It is that which builds things. This is the energy that's needed during pregnancy. It's the energy that's needed to build a home. We need to have materials. It's that sort of slow moving but long withstanding energy that exists in nature. Those who have a Kapha Prakriti, I've talked about it a few times in this series, it's what body were you born with? What is your body's bone structure, the way you look, your face? It's just how we were born. And it's all the beautiful, energetic, and physical makeup that you were born into this life with. So many of us have all 3 doshas, but some may have much more of one than the other. Kapha folks are generally a little bit more bigger boned. Doesn't mean you're fat or overweight. It just means you're a little bit bigger boned and you have more of the sturdy, slow moving quality about you. So this is not just a physical thing, this is also a mental thing. So it's possible to have a physical structure of one dosha, but more of your mental state is a different dosha. That's also possible. Some folks have all 3 equally. So it really just depends on you. And you can work with a practitioner one-on-one to find out more. I'm taking on one-on-one clients right now for a discounted rate before I officially launch in September. So if you're curious about that, you can email me at the description below. So let's get into Kapha. Kapha is this, I think, luscious, beautiful energy that so many modern, fried, burnt out, withered away people need. It's that energy of stamina and of building life. It's that energy of stability, right? Think about the earth element. Stability, home, not being flighty, but being consistent, expressing love. So I think of Kapha, I always think about this really nurturing mother. The time of life from Kapha dosha. So it's interesting in Ayurveda because we have seasons during the year and they're all different doshic types. So right now we're in the summer, we're in Pitta season. Kapha is usually a little bit more in the late winter into spring, which makes sense because you think about the snow melting, there's a lot of rainfall or just snow melt, there's a lot of water. That's Kapha season. That's usually when people get sick. And so one of the byproducts of Kapha is excess mucus. Think about that, earth and water together, excess mucus. Time of life of Kapha, because we're talking about building life, is from birth until puberty. So we are born into this Kapha energy. This is why little kids get sick so much and why there's a lot of mucus. It's because they're growing so much and there's a lot of that Kapha energy in order to help them grow. And then when we get to puberty until about menopause, which is a big part of life, this is where everything happens, right? This is when we have kids or we have our careers, we go to school, we're figuring out our life purpose. It's a lot. That's Pitta, that's the fire. And then later in life, we move into Vata, which is this more etheric air element. dosha. So you can go back and watch more about pitta and vata in my earlier videos. So kapha is a beautiful, beautiful energy, and especially those who have a vata imbalance might want some more of that kapha just to ground. But the qualities, the gunas, we call that in Ayurveda and Sanskrit, the qualities, the main qualities of kapha are cold and heavy. Heavy and wet and cold. So you can think about snow that's just melting into the mud, that's kapha. You can think about that. So some of the physical symptoms besides excess mucus, right, when we get a cold, it could be edema, so swelling, any sort of swelling, too much liquid, too much earth. It could be just not having enough energy to move because there's not really that fire or that air to move. And so this is the one dosha that if you do have a lot of kapha energy, coffee is actually a good thing for you, right? Because it's bitter, it's heating, and it's going to get you moving. It's going to get that process in your body moving. Kaphas are the type that they actually need more of that fire element. So you're going to want to lean more on spices and movement and sweating and exercise and eating a little bit lighter. What can happen with kapha is they can really retain a lot of food for a long time. So I sometimes think of like a big dog. We have a over 100-pound dog. He looks like a kapha type. Or a bear, right? They can eat once and then they'll be fine for a really long time. The strongest men in the world are kapha. They're not pitta, right? Because they have that sense of really strong stability going on. And so with kapha, you want to make sure that you're eating regularly, but eating smaller meals and eating a little bit lighter. You want to think about making things lighter and a little quicker. So I would say psychologically, a lot of us actually need more of the earth element and the water element because we have a lot of air and fire going on in our culture as a whole. So kapha can be a great teacher for many of us. But if you are someone who experiences a lot of what I talked about, excess water in the body, mucus, lethargy, any sort of depression, or just feeling like you don't want to get up and move, you don't want to get up and create in life or change your life, if you feel like you're stuck in a rut, that can be kapha as well. Because you think about mud, it's very sticky and it can stick and cling on to things. So the medicine of kapha dosha is exercise and movement. First thing, absolutely, exercise and movement. If you're a kapha person, it's a really great thing to invest in a sauna or go to a gym with a sauna. Do that a few times a week, especially in the colder months. Do those more vigorous vinyasa classes or a dance class or an aerobics class of some kind. Move and sweat. That's the number one medicine for kapha dosha, to relieve all that excess water and earth in the body. That's number one. So if you take anything from this at all, move your body every single day. Another one is to mentally have new experiences in your life. If you do the same routine every day, you're not meeting new people, you're not challenging yourself, you're not putting yourself out there, you're not slightly uncomfortable sometimes, I challenge you to sign up for a meetup group or go travel to somewhere you've never been before where you don't know anyone. Learn a new language. This is what keeps our mind sharp. So if you find yourself kind of stuck in a rut, do something you wouldn't normally do, and that's a really great mental tool for kapha. Lastly, with diet and herbs, focus on more, not too spicy, but a little bit more of that spice in the morning. So kaphas, it would be great to start with some warm water in the morning and maybe even add some ginger, or add some ginger to your tea or your coffee in the morning. Add a little bit more of that spicy element to your food so that you can feel more movement happening in your body, especially if you're having more of those accumulation. So if we're too much in that kapha dosha, it might be really hard to let things go. It might be really hard to get up and move your body, or you're just feeling a little bit more than that depressive state. So we're going to move that energy, and I'm going to teach a breath practice for Kapha specifically. So if you know that you have a lot of vata dosha, which is a lot of air or a lot of anxiousness or overwhelm, which I talked about in my last video, you're not going to want to do this breath. But if you really resonate with this Kapha archetype, I invite you to try this breath. And this is called the breath of fire. So this is actually going to stimulate your digestive fire. It's going to kind of give you a little bit of a head rush, and it's going to wake up your energy, wake up the cells in your body so that you feel more enlivened. So this is a great practice to do in the morning. There's many different ways to do this. This mostly comes from the Kundalini yoga tradition. That's not something that I teach, but I'll just teach you a very basic form of it now so you can get it down. So essentially the easiest way to describe this breath practice is to just pant like a dog. So let's just start there, and then I'll teach you what's next. So just start panting like a dog, stick your tongue out. And you'll notice there's more of an emphasis on the exhale. You'll notice as you do it, naturally your navel, your belly button will move toward your spine. So once you got that down, great. Now you're going to do that and just seal your lips so you don't have to stick out your tongue, and you're going to do it through your nose. So I'll just watch for a moment. Great. Take a big deep breath. Exhale out. Let's do that together for about 10 seconds. You can take your hand on your navel, just really practice pulling that navel toward the spine. It's going to happen naturally, and if this is too much for you, just stop. It's totally fine. So deep breath in about halfway and begin. Inhale deep. Exhale, let it go. And just spend the next few moments grounding into the earth, because it can bring the energy up. So we want to make sure we end that meditation grounded. So again, last time I'll say this, but if you feel like you're always up here, this is probably not the meditation for you. You'll probably want to do more of that grounding meditation. But if you feel really lethargic in the morning, it's hard to get going, and you don't want to have a lot of caffeine, this is a great alternative for that as well. Or if you're just feeling a little bit stagnant in life and like you need more clarity, you need more insight, you need more inspiration, this is also a beautiful practice for you. Only contraindications is if you're pregnant or on your menstrual cycle the first couple days, don't do that practice. You want to keep everything moving downward. So Kapha is a beautiful energy, just like all the doshas, and it's just important to learn what they are so we could stay in that center, we could stay in balance. And when you learn what I like to call your unique body's energetic blueprint, how you were born and where you're at now, it's so much easier to know where to go to find that balance, to feel grounded and inspired, to feel fired up to do your work during the day, but not so fired up that you feel burnt out or anxious at night. So this is the beauty of Ayurveda, is that it works with nature, and it works with your unique body, your unique mind, to bring you back to center. So I will be delivering one more video after this, so stick around. Really appreciate you being here, and we'll just end with a nice, simple grounding breath together. So inhale, exhale.